Welcome to Bound Sisters, where we have everything together. Anyways, okay, this month, which is May, we read The Sirens by Emilia Hart. I'll show you guys the book. Not that you haven't seen it, but quick outline of what this book is. This book is about 4 different women who live like 200 years apart from each other. I don't remember. A very long time apart from each other. There's 2 sisters who are on a boat in like the 1800s on their way to Australia because they committed a crime. And then there's 2 sisters in
Australia.
But one, you're following her story in 1999, I think.
9.
And then the other one, you're following her story in 2019. And then all of these stories kind of come together. But they're all going through these struggles of having like flaky skin and being allergic to water, essentially, which all comes together in the end. Does that explain
spoiler,
the book?
Spoiler, they are the Sirens.
Spoiler, they are sirens.
I'm a little bit disappointed that there wasn't more siren action. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it would be a little bit more magical than it was. You know what I mean?
They were trying to get
a little bit more fantasy.
Their magic.
Right. But I thought that the book, like, you didn't really get to the fantasy part of the book until the last 10 chapters or something.
Yeah, no, it's not really about them being sirens. It's more about their struggles.
Right. Of being
not knowing
women and not knowing that they're sirens. Yeah. Okay.
So.
Ratings?
I gave it a 3.5.
Is there a reason, or you're just like gonna lay that down?
There it is. I don't remember what the ratings mean. I just feel like it falls within the other.
Is it in your journal? I don't know if it's in your journal.
I don't know. I don't think you put it in the journal.
I can't remember what I rated it.
Maybe that's something we need to put in the journal.
Hello? Did I not rate the sirens in here?
I would say for me, probably, I don't know. I would say for the first 38 chapters, 3. And then maybe the last 10 chapters, 3.5.
Why? What?
I had a hard time getting into the book. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. They seemed kind of whiny. I feel like just yeah. It was just kind of like meh, meh, meh.
I will say one, like, because when Miranda told us last time that this was a split timeline or whatever, she's like, Jill doesn't like those. And I was talking to Nate about it, and I was like, this is why I don't like them, because we were halfway through the book, and you are still at the beginning of everybody's story. Because you get such little, like, glimpses. It takes so long to, like, build up everybody's story to a point.
Well, and then, like, when I've listened to the audiobook, so, but there was a point where it switched from Jess's diary to just like Jess. Like, did they announce that, or was it just like, is that in the book where it's like what's it called, present day or whatever?
Did it not say like the dates?
It gives you the dates.
Yeah, in the book.
But the dates are hard to follow when you're listening to an audiobook.
Yeah.
Because there were a few times I had to like flip back and forth, especially when it was like Jess's actual, not her diary, and just Jess and Lucy, because they're things didn't line up perfectly.
Right. Well, and like, who reads the dates? And then also, like, you're going from Jess to Lucy to Mary to like Jess to Lucy to Mary to like, you're like, okay, hold on. Let me go back 4 chapters to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I had to do.
I gave it a 3.5 because I did read Wayward, which is her other book that's kind of structured like this. And I thought that, like, I think Mary's story is kind of boring. I mean, she is just on a boat. She's not doing much. But so reading this compared to Wayward, there was a lot more like going on, and like Wayward was a lot faster paced. So this book I do think is slower.
I feel like if this wasn't the point of the book, but if the point of the book would have been, let me tell them about this portion of history, make them excited to learn more, that missed the mark.
I don't think it was about necessarily
but it's supposed to be like
history.
A historical fiction, and like I didn't push stop soon enough, and so it started the author interview, and she apparently like worked on this book for a really long time because she was diving into the history of like the, what do they call it? They call it something when all the convict
ships.
Yeah, when they were all coming to Australia. So, I mean, like, she did extensive research, and obviously it was enough to make her excited to write a book about it, but that didn't translate.
Yeah, it's not like a lot of information. Like, if you were reading it specifically to learn about people, like convicts being shipped off to Australia, that's not this book.
Well, right. And plus, it's a fiction, but...
But if you were like, that's what you were interested in, and somebody recommended this book, that would be very disappointing.
Right. So, anyways, that's my rating. Okay. That's your rating. That's everybody's rating.
Wait, what were your guys' ratings?
3.5.
Mine's a
what did you say?
Rating. I don't know. I said, I'm like getting really close to my camera. Like, oh gosh. I said for the first part of the book, it's like a 3. And then the last 10 chapters is maybe a 3.5.
Kelly's a 3.25. Okay.
So,
Jill, do you want to share your journal stuff now, or?
Well, you want me to show it, or you want me to share all my thoughts that I wrote down?
You can share your thoughts.
Kelly made us this journal to help us kind of catalog our thoughts, and this will be available on Etsy. She kind of showed it off last time.
During our snack and chat, not our last episode.
Oh, it was just during snack and chats. So there's like a how it works page, which means basically just says do it however you want. And then I filled out that I read the Sirens by Emilia Hart. And then I read it physical book until I had to like really get it finished today, and I listened to the audiobook. And then I started it on the 12th and I finished it today. And this portion I added my own expectation.
What did it say?
I just said intrigued before starting the book. I didn't really feel like any of the other ones described. And then I don't do this because a lot of times I'll just snag. Like,
Jill doesn't do a reading log.
Yeah, I'll just snag like 10 minutes here and there, and so I don't write that down. Anyways, I had lots of thoughts while reading the book, so I wrote that down. I do think this box kind of like, I don't know, it got in the way.
Note for Kelly.
I didn't know what to do with that.
Noted.
And then I filled out my how did I feel page. So I said 3.5 stars. Emotional damage, I said neutral. And then I gave it 2 light bulbs for making me think. And there was no spice, I don't feel like. And then final verdict, I said, it was okay. And then I said I would recommend it There was a few people at work that saw me reading it, and they had read Wayward. So then they were like, "Oh, I didn't know she had a new book." So hopefully, if they decide to read it, they enjoy it. I don't know. Anyways,
there we go.
Yeah, that's our journal. So it'll be on Etsy, and you can buy it and download it. And if you're fancy, you can bind it yourself.
So do you want to tell us what your thoughts were?
Yeah.
Start us off with your thoughts.
Yes. Well, so I already said that this book explains why I don't like split timelines. Because it just takes too long.
It feels like the story is slower.
Yes, because you have to keep jumping. And like just as you get like a little bit of like nuggets about somebody, they're like, it's like commercial break. Let's talk about this person, you know? I don't like it. Okay, when the cops showed up to the Cliff House to talk to Lucy, I thought they were there about Ben. And,
I did too.
And her attacking. And it didn't seem to cross her mind at all that they were there for her.
Well, because why would they know she was there? She didn't even tell her parents where she went, did she? She didn't tell anybody where she went.
I mean, I guess. But I would still, like, if I assaulted somebody and then ran away and the cops showed up, there would be a bit of me that would be afraid that they were there for me. And then I didn't like that she opened the door and the cops just walked in. I don't know how things go in Australia. Maybe I don't know. But they just came in. And I did not like that. And then I was having a really hard time keeping Jess and Lucy's names straight. So that got really confusing, remembering who was the older sister and who was the younger sister. And I thought it was kind of like interesting. As much as it was like different timelines, it was all kind of like through Lucy's. Because it was Lucy's dreams.
Of Mary and Eliza.
Yeah, so they were her dreams. That's how we got their story. And then she was reading Jess's journal. So it was still like you got Lucy's like opinion on it because she would kind of think things over after she read the journal. I did think that was kind of interesting. I did not suspect one bit that they were going to be mother and daughter. Am I the only one there?
I don't think I didn't suspect it.
I didn't suspect it at first. And then it was kind of around the time when Jess was like asking her parents for a sibling. And then she went to go talk to her teacher. And I was like, oh, I see where this is going.
Except for her teacher wasn't the dad. So
that's true.
Yeah, I did not at all. Because I was... even when Lucy was like kind of questioning, I don't think I talked to her parents about this, but she was like finding out that Jess was adopted. And then she was like, well, how could we be related? Because we have the same skin issue. And I was like, how could they possibly make them related?
Just like oblivious. She's like, right, how?
I was right there with her the whole time. How are you related?
I was like, well, her parents don't have this skin issue and only Jess has this skin issue. So like,
well, so then my question is, because I was like, if I was in this situation where I just found out that my sister was adopted, right? And then I'd be like, okay, they don't have... Also, like, not only did she learn that her sister was adopted, but she learned that her parents lied about it, right? So we know her parents have a history of lying about adopting children. So then I was like, well, obviously they wouldn't have pictures of the mom being pregnant. So my next question would be, where are the pictures of my mom being pregnant with me?
Yeah.
Right? So it would be suspicious. Like, how do you just also not like... how do you not have pictures of you being pregnant with me? How do you not have... Well,
I think also like it was hard because everybody said how much they looked like their dad. Like, because they were like,
so she was like justifying it.
The same ears as your dad. And so Which at the end of the book, when you find out that he is actually their dad, I'm like, ew, like he had an affair
with a siren.
With a siren, like he had an affair.
He got lured. Okay,
so she's walking around still not telling anybody that he had an affair.
People suspect him of having an affair.
Well, they suspect right.
Also, I'm very disappointed that at the end of the book, they didn't join like a coven of sirens.
Yeah, it was
just kind of went out into the ocean.
But maybe that's what it. Maybe it's like I guess they're not sisters, but maybe it's like a 2 women thing. I don't know, because it was like Mary and Eliza, which Mary is their mom.
Yeah, Mary is Jess's
she's like
mom.
So old, right?
But she's a siren, so she can live forever.
But that's what I feel like. That they're sirens. They're these like mystical creatures. Their age and stuff doesn't like apply to human mortality, whatever. But there should be more of them.
Well, yeah, like, and then you can hear them singing, right? So like,
right. So I suspected like they would go, like they were being called to this place, and that they were going to finally get there, and then they would be like welcomed by other sirens, not just the ocean.
Yeah.
But they have human lives. They want to live their human lives.
No, I was disappointed
to the sirens.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe maybe that part of the story just is left out, you know? I don't know. Because, like, who teaches them how to be a siren? Like, who teaches them? Like, somebody's got to teach them, right? That makes sense. Like, you don't just be like,
have magic.
Like your whole life you breathe air, right? And then all of a sudden you have gills. You're supposed to breathe in the water.
I mean, that's what Mary and Eliza did.
Yeah, Mary and Eliza were in a boat going down, and they were just like,
"Hey, I can breathe now."
I know.
Yeah, like I'm not dying. Okay,
that's so weird. I feel like there was a movie like that where it was like where they turned
the 13th
into like
year.
Underwater creature, and they just the 13th year. Is that
right? There's a Disney movie about how he becomes a mermaid.
Yeah, and he's adopted.
It's one of the mom's favorites.
Really?
She loves that movie.
Oh, anyways, it's like the reverse of what's that movie? With the little boy who's a sea monster, and he comes out of the water. Yeah, and he's like trying to learn how to breathe air. He's like, I just feel like there would be a learning curve, and there doesn't seem to be a learning curve.
I feel like anytime there's a story about somebody going into the water, they just kind of flow with it.
They just kind of know.
Yeah, they're just like, they kind of explore, and they like look at their hands, and then they're just like, here I am, ocean.
Because a human has probably been in a pool or a body of water before.
Not these girls, because they were allergic to the water.
A fish has not been out in the air.
Fish has not been subject to gravity.
I mean, kind of. There's like a water pressure, you know.
Not the same.
They can only go down so far, otherwise they'll die.
Feel it. Okay,
those are all my thoughts.
So we have 4 women over all this different time, and they're going through struggles that seem very similar. Did they have similarities that stood out, or things that were different that stood out to you guys? I think for me, mainly it was just the men they had to deal with.
I mean, they all had a really nice dad.
They all had nice dads. I mean, sure.
I mean, even Mary and Eliza's dad, like, he was a nice man. He was trying to protect them, and he loved their mom, and he's just a liar. It seems to be the parents were liars. That's like the thread there, because even Jess is a liar.
Parents are liars. Men really had big life course changes for all of these women.
Yeah.
So Mary and Eliza,
yes,
they were like assaulted, right? And then they killed that man. Was that their crime?
They didn't kill him because if they had killed him, they would have been hung.
Okay.
But Mary got
I think
attacked
she like
down at the
smacked him
river
with a rock or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mary got attacked down at the river by this dude, and then Eliza came up behind him and whacked him with a rock.
Oh, okay.
And then because he survived, they just got shipped off to Australia. If he had died, they would have been hung.
Mm. Okay.
And then Lucy had a picture put on TikTok by a dude.
Yes.
And then
I think
Jess
it was WhatsApp.
and her teacher. Huh?
I think it was the WhatsApp.
Well, I think she's sent it over WhatsApp because that's really popular in Australia for texting.
Oh.
And then it got put on TikTok because then people were commenting on it about how she looks like a monster and all that stuff.
Yep.
And then Jess and her teacher, which was wild. And then he came back. Ugh.
I know. Well, apparently they've been like seeing each other off and on like the whole time.
Yeah.
So I like how like when he starts talking about well, first of all, she's like telling him like as she's reliving this experience and trying to figure out like, was I assaulted?
Mm-hmm.
Like she's like now telling him about it, and he's like, you're just like the rest of them, you wanted it. I'm like, oh.
And then she was like, let's go down to the cave, and I was like, yes.
Let me feed you to these monsters.
See, but there had to have been somebody, like some other sirens, because what was her name? Maria? Whatever, the neighbor?
I feel like it was Molly.
When she went exploring in the cave, she got assaulted and they killed him too.
Yeah.
So like there had to have been some sort of, that's why I thought they were going to be welcomed by like a coven or something.
But yeah, like they were just hanging out right there too.
Like
because
there had been so many men who had gone disappearing in this area that it wasn't Jess and it wasn't Lucy, so it had to have been some other siren.
That's probably
so.
And like if Mary is still alive and she's birthing children, and it's only been, I guess it's been 40 years at this point, right?
For what?
Since Jess was born? Because Jess was 20 when Lucy was born, and now Lucy is like 18 or 20.
I thought
no, Lucy
was still in high school.
In her teen,
Lucy?
Yeah.
Jess
had still Lucy when she was a teenager. She was still in high school. They were on summer break when she got pregnant.
Oh. Well, I think she was at least 17.
Yeah.
So anyways, it's been approximately 35 to 40 years. But apparently this lady is like immortal. So like, why is she not just like hanging out by the water waiting for her daughter to come? Like, I'd be like, where's my daughter?
I mean, just based off of information about sirens, they're not the most nurturing mythical creatures.
I don't know. Jess wants to be nurturing.
She's also more human than Siren.
Or maybe at this point, because Mary also used to be more human than Siren. So maybe because Mary has kind of given herself to the sea, she probably doesn't spend a lot of time on land.
Yeah.
Maybe she's lost that humanity about her.
I don't know.
After 200 years.
But yeah, I think there's probably, I mean, I would imagine there's just the two of them, like the two sisters. But still. Yeah, I don't know. I agree. There should be more sirens.
Random thought that just popped in my head. It would be really weird for Max to like have a relationship with this girl. She ghosts you for 20 years. And then she comes back. And she's like, I actually have a kid and it's yours.
Well,
and she's in college.
And he thought it was his kid and she told him it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say they had that conversation already because
apparently he's just a really good guy because he took it all in stride. He's like, yes. Cool, I'm a dad.
Okay, you know what else never got answered? Awesome. When Jess was still missing and Max calls and he was like trying to talk to her.
Like, why did he never call?
Went anywhere.
The only reason that I could think that he called is because he saw an article about the teacher. But that was, I mean, that's complete like speculation.
Wait, I thought he called because Lucy called him. Lucy called Max, looking for Jess. Oh. And then he didn't answer or something, and so then he called back.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
So I think that's why he called. That's why she had a conversation with him, because she was like wondering if maybe Max knew where she was.
He's like, I have not talked to her.
Does nobody else remember that part? I remember it where I was in my house.
I remember it, but like he seemed more eager, like he had more information about the situation than I guess he would have known that Jess wasn't just the sister.
Lucy wasn't just the sister.
Yeah. But I don't know. I felt like he had more information, like he had more understanding, but I don't know.
Or maybe he's just been in love with her this whole time and he was just excited that she called him and it wasn't her.
Unresolved feelings.
Maybe.
He's been saving himself for her this whole time.
I don't think that's it, but
well, he's obviously not, I don't know, maybe not obvious, but it doesn't seem like he's in a relationship because he comes by himself to meet his daughter.
He called up his girlfriend. He was like, we got to break up because
the love of my life just called me. We have a kid together.
Wait, I missed this. Did they tell him that Lucy was his kid?
He came to the house to meet her.
It's at the end of the book. I don't think he actually shows up in the book, but they are waiting for him to come. Or he shows up.
I was falling asleep a lot at the end of this book.
The very last line is, girls, she says, Max is here, and then the book ends.
Yeah, I probably slept through that. This book seemed to lull me to sleep like I was on the boat itself.
It's the Sirens. They were singing you to sleep.
Yeah, they were.
Okay. Next question. So Lucy and Jess both have this skin condition where they're allergic to the water. Quotation marks around that. And they're constantly trying to hide this. Lucy, not as much as Jess, but how do you think their efforts to hide their skin limit them? I thought more about Jess with this question because I felt it I think it added to her insecurities, which then added to her being more vulnerable to her teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that specifically because he's like, wow, you have beautiful skin. And she's like, oh, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of why Lucy was kind of into Ben also, was because he didn't seem to mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I definitely think that it made them more of targets, but also more willing to settle for, kind of whatever they could find. Although Jess had Max. But also, true. Max kind of...
He got kind of scared.
Made her feel weird about it. So maybe that's and then And then that was the moment where she kind of like went to her teacher. So, but turns out he wasn't scared of her. He was worried about her feeling insecure.
Yeah. I was trying to imagine like how bad their skin would have been, because I mean, like, people have eczema and yeah, it's kind of red, but like, so I was like trying to imagine how gross their skin looks and like why these people were calling Lucy a monster. And like, I guess they talked about it like peeling off, but
well, and she had talked about like when she described taking the picture, like she had like silver across her like abdomen and stuff. And so I think maybe it's a little less that it's gross and just not like people with blue and silver skin.
I'm imagining like shocking.
Yeah, like not necessarily like actual slash marks, but I'm imagining like strips of like blue and silver and just kind of being like, you know, that's very weird and different and people are scared of what they don't know.
Yeah.
So
I've actually thought a lot about this, like generally, not specifically to the Sirens book, but just like how insecurities can cause you to maybe behave in a way that is dangerous to you almost, I guess, like or detrimental, maybe not dangerous, but detrimental. Like if you grew up in an environment where like nobody, what am I thinking? Like nobody told you that you had worth or that you had value or that, you know, like you are part of something bigger, or you know what I mean? Like if nobody handed that to you and taught you that from a young age, then when you're older, you're definitely like a different kind of person, right? Like you're definitely gonna have, you're not gonna understand like where your place in the world is. And now all of a sudden you're an adult and you're having to go on this journey rather than like somebody taught you from the beginning. And so I kind of see it in that way with this. Like their parents were kind of trying to hide this from them. Their dad knew also, by the way.
Knew why it was happening.
Yeah. But like they didn't understand, and it was almost like a shameful thing to them. And that's kind of like how their family carried it. And so it made them more vulnerable to, I don't know, looking for love in all the wrong places. We're gonna start singing a country song.
Yeah, I was thinking about like relating it back to real life, that like if you grow up feeling not good about yourself, that just opens you up to vulnerabilities, I guess. Just like to potentially making wrong choices or doing things that maybe you wouldn't do otherwise because you have that insecurity and you're looking for validation.
Right. Or choosing a certain path even.
Yeah. Which I also feel like is a problem that is put a lot on girls specifically, which is I feel like it's important that specifically Lucy and Jess had these problems as women. But
yes. I agree. We were actually I went to a meeting for church this morning, and there was only 2 of us who were women, and there was the rest of them were men, and they were discussing Father's Day and how some of the men were of the mind of like we do this whole big shebang for mothers, for women on Mother's Day, and we take over the kids classes and we let the women have like this time and we get these treats. By the way, it was a woman who was organizing the treats this year. which I was like, that's wrong. And last year it was me and my friend Amy who did the whole thing, so also wrong. But and so some of them were like, you know, we should do that for the men too, because like we throw this big party for the moms and not for the dads. And then this one guy was like, well, he's like, that's how life should be.
Just every day.
It's like these women do so much. He was like, and I don't think that we should ask them to do more for us. Like, I don't think we should ask them to throw a party for us and then go home and cook dinner also. Like,
yeah.
He's like, I'm okay with just handing me cookies after church and telling me I love you. Thanks for being a great dad. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, I really like this guy. And then I was like, am I being just selfish? But then I'm like, no, like there's a lot of weight on women to carry this society. There really is. Like, I don't know. And even when you think about like church, like I was trying to think, because they're like, well, you know, we should find ladies to kind of like pick up and cover these guys' classes so that we can do this thing for them. And I'm like, what, are you gonna have to replace what, like 4 teachers in primary? Like, you're gonna have to just four of them, like, because the rest of us are women. Like, the rest of us are like. So, anyways, I'm just like, it's I do think that there is reason to celebrate men and everything that they do for families and good men. Like, there's a reason to celebrate good men. But women do a lot. Women put up with a lot. Like, yep. We sacrifice a lot for the ego of our men. Like, so, anyways. There's my semi-feminist rant for the day. Actually, that's my second one. But
good job.
I also ranted a little bit in church about feminism.
Okay, the next question kind of is like the opposite of the last question. And it's talking about Mary and Lucy when they stopped being afraid of being sirens, how that became a strength for them. So kind of like, if you stop being afraid of your insecurities and you kind of embrace that, for myself, I think a lot about just like being shy when I was younger, just like being afraid to be myself in front of people. And now that I'm older and I'm more willing to just like step outside of my comfort zone and just like be myself, that has become a strength where I'm now leading large groups of people to do things. So I don't know, kind of talking about like how embracing your insecurities can become a strength for you and how that became a strength for Mary and Eliza.
Yeah,
Any thoughts?
I think it's kind of like, hold on, I do have thoughts. They're just like forming.
I'm dying of heat right now and my brain is not working.
I'm just laughing that she was like, any thoughts?
Any thoughts at all on that commentary?
And I'm like, no.
So I think it's like when people see that you are able to like when you see somebody fully just being themselves, like everybody's a weirdo, right? Like everybody's a weirdo. Just people try to act normal. Like being normal is the weird thing, right? Because everybody's a weirdo. And I think when you see somebody being a weirdo, like themselves, it kind of a little bit gives you permission to do that. And so, and you're more drawn to that person because you know that they're at least trying to be authentic, you know, like they're trying to not put on a face, or makes you a little bit more willing to trust them with things, and then you can step into your weirdo-ness because that person's also a weirdo, and you're like, well, if that person can be a weirdo, so can I. And so
And that's how we make friends, everyone.
And that's how we make friends. So yeah, but also I'm trying to like form this thought. It's being hard.
Okay, we'll wait.
What am I thinking? So, okay. We're going to take you to therapy, okay? We're going to take you to therapy. So I was talking to my therapist this week. And I was talking about my need for control. Okay, so like I have this like just baseline need to have some kind of control over everything. And the last thing I said before our time was up, I was like, why is that? She's like, it's a great question for next time. Like, that's going to be something we have to unpack. And so, like, I always thought that I could kind of control people through my behavior. So, like, if I acted a certain way, then this other person should reciprocate in this other way. And then I'm always disappointed when that doesn't happen, right? Like, because I actually just don't have control over other people. And so I was thinking about it, and I was like, so if I have like no control, if my behavior has no effect really on the behavior of others, then I get to just decide who I want to be. Right?
Yes.
Like, I get to decide what kind of person I want to be, because it, I mean, obviously it matters, like, how you show up in the world, but, like, my behavior what's the word? Not impact. My behavior obviously impacts other people. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not an island, guys. But, like, my behavior doesn't control how other people behave. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't know if it was even relevant to the question that we just asked. But I just took you to therapy, guys, so.
Do you find that a strength? In understanding your insecurities?
I mean, I think that there's power in just being able to choose.
Yeah.
So just realizing you have that choice. So, anyways.
I think it was a different podcast that their clip was like on Instagram or something. And they were like, tell me your great grandparents' name. And the girl was like, I don't know. And they were like, so their point was like, just be whoever you want to be, because even in 2 generations, like, your own family's not even going to remember what you did, which is a little bit sad, but also like, just be who you want to be, because so many people are concerned with like, oh, people are going to think I'm weird. People are going to think whatever, like, and it's like, just be whoever you want to be, because literally nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody's thinking about you. Later. Everybody's thinking about themselves. So,
okay, sometimes in the summer when I like don't shave my legs, I'm like, I'm not gonna wear shorts because everybody's gonna think I'm so gross. And then I think, and I'm like, how many times have I noticed that other people haven't shaved their legs? And I'm like, no, never. I don't walk around like. I don't look around looking at people's legs in the summer and like at Fred Meyer's.
Just got like a magnifying glass, just walking around.
I'm like calling people out from like across the fruit section. Shave your legs. No, I'm like, it's literally something that I never notice about somebody. So I still shave my legs, but I don't stop living my life just because of.
And if you did notice it, you wouldn't say anything, right?
I wouldn't care.
You would like publicly ostracize somebody, because that's just not nice. So. People want to do that online, guys. Nobody does that in real life.
You can only do it online.
I didn't say you can. I said people only.
So, anyways, those are my 2 things about. Because I mean, honestly, like, I think I've always just lived my life.
I love that for you.
I love that for
not to toot my own horn, but I feel like that's something that I've never struggled with. Like I've just kind of always done what I wanted to do.
I actually was thinking about that recently, where I was like, I am like the person who, like, well, for one, I want to control it. Like, I'm the oldest daughter, right? Like, I am that
eldest
picture.
Daughter syndrome.
I am the picture of that. Like, everybody's life depends on me. Also, like, I have control over everybody's life. Also, like, all of these things, like. And I was like, and Miranda's the youngest daughter. And so Miranda's like, she's kind of insecure. She's a little quieter. She's like, but she also didn't really grow up with other siblings. And so she's kind of a weirdo. And then I was like, and then Jill is just like, this loud and proud, like, this loud and proud person who's, well, I'm the one who hides my weirdness. Miranda embraces her weirdness, and Jill's just like Jill. Like, Jill's just like herself. Like, she's never not been herself. I was like, must be nice to be a middle child.
But those are thoughts that, like, I have in my head sometimes, is that literally I've never cared about anybody else. Like, I've never been... Not
like you never like you've never compared yourself. You've never been like,
well, I've never been like at, I don't know, like an outdoor concert and been like, oh, what a strange person to be singing and dancing at this concert. Like, like they're just having a good time. I've never, okay, sometimes I'm at Walmart and I'm like, why did that person dress
Walmart's
like
a different situation.
Someone needs to buy that person a full length mirror.
Sometimes
that's why there's a whole website for it.
But I just like, if I reflect on times that I've gone out in the public, I've never like judged people for just having fun and enjoying life. And not that like, and just like, I've just never noticed it. It doesn't faze me. So I know that I don't mean that much to other people either. Like, me having fun, enjoying my life doesn't faze other people. So why not enjoy it?
And see, I have always felt like I'm in everybody's way.
It's the tallness is what it is.
I try to like stay out of people's way, and then as I've gotten older,
maybe it's still short.
Like, I gotta wave a flag, let everybody know I'm here.
I have to show up so people see me.
I'm pretty sure like every single prom picture that I ever have, like I'm like slumped over because I'm trying to be small. So pretty sure. So, anyways, there's my
our deep dive into accepting what makes you different.
Okay, I want to talk about the last question though, which was I support women and women's rights and their wrongs. So the question is, the book really blurs the lines between justice, revenge, and morality when it comes to the sirens and the men they lure. It often feels like the sea is punishing dangerous men, but it's not always completely clear-cut. Did you see the sirens as protectors, villains, or something in between? And I mean, I think something in between, because
that's what I was going to say.
Obviously, killing people is not right. But also, those men were not being punished for what they did. And a lot of those men did not nice things.
Well, and it was kind of like what I'm just gonna say. Her name was Molly.
Her name's Melody.
Melody. How she was like when Jess was missing and Lucy was afraid, like was worried about her, and Melody was like, I don't know why, but this place protects women.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, I don't know what happened to Jess, but I know Jess is safe.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I think that's where I get the like something in between.
Yeah. Well, and like it makes me wonder because Ben was his name? Was Ben his name?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like when she was down by the ocean with Ben, like he was actively trying to hurt her when the sirens started calling. Because these women, these sirens are not like clairvoyant. Like they can't see inside somebody's soul to know what their super wrongs were. But all of these other guys, like one guy had like child pornography and one guy had like other things. Like all of these guys had like things in their lives, but it makes me wonder what they were actively doing to make the sirens like target them.
I don't know. I would argue that maybe they did have kind of a sixth sense, because when she went up to the edge of the boat, she told their dad, like, you're different. Like,
yeah. But so, they didn't come and save Jess.
But I feel like that was also kind of like because Jess was a siren and you can do
Jess
this.
was her own siren.
Yeah.
Maybe. She didn't need protection because she could protect herself.
Okay, another thought that I had was when Lucy realized that there was a knife missing out of the knife block. And I was like, in my knife block, I have a whole bunch of knives shoved in there that don't even belong in there. So even if somebody,
if there was a knife missing.
even if somebody took a knife out of my knife block, like the hole would still be filled. I was like, nobody would ever know that a knife went missing from my knife block.
Also, if I saw a knife missing from a knife block, my first thought would not be like, oh, someone took it outside the house.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
maybe it's in the dishwasher.
Yeah. Well, but she had been living there for a while, so she would have known, like, there wasn't a lot in the house, first of all. Yes. And she'd been living there and eating there, so she would have known what was in the sink and what was in the dishwasher.
I guess.
So I think
maybe it just broke, or maybe it got lost, or maybe it rusted. Yeah. Like my thought would not be
also like she went. Didn't she go to take a knife for herself for protection?
Yeah.
And then noticed, oh, maybe somebody else had the same thought.
Yeah, I think that's when she noticed it.
Yeah. But I just thought about that with my own knife block. I was like, nobody would ever know.
Well, now we know.
I wouldn't know. Block. You wouldn't. If you walked up to my knife block, you would not know.
I'll just be suspicious all the time.
All the time.
How many knives are
not a knife missing, but there could be a knife missing.
And then I also thought it was really beautiful how she named her daughter Lucy because she wanted to keep the sea with her. Aww. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was sweet.
And then she handed her child off to her mother.
I mean, she kind of had to. Otherwise, they were going to take her away.
I guess.
Can you imagine if, like, somebody had gotten her that wasn't her family?
Right.
Like, what would they have thought with her skin condition and all of that? Like, that would have been a nightmare, probably.
Well, and that explains why the dad refused to take her back to that appointment, that doctor that wanted to use her for like a scientific paper.
Oh, because he knew.
He already knew why her skin was like that.
He's like, she's a magical creature.
Yeah. He's like, she's not human. Let's not have the scientists look at her.
I'm just going to hand my daughter over for scientific research.
Okay, that was the last of my questions. So here are the quick fire questions. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Rapid fire. Which timeline or storyline hooked you the fastest? I think for me, probably Jess, just because there was so much going on.
I think Lucy, because I felt like it was all really Lucy for a while.
These are rapid fire, Joe.
Sorry.
Did this book make you want to visit the ocean more or less?
I always want to visit the ocean.
I don't want to be in the ocean. Anglerfish, guys. Anglerfish.
I don't want to visit a scary ocean. I want to visit a nice warm beach.
I like to look at the ocean. I don't want to be in the ocean.
I want to go to the Oregon coast and go to the tide pools.
I do not. Every time we were walking on those beaches at the Oregon coast, there was all like the sand fleas, and I was like, ah! There's bugs.
Did you figure anything out early, or were you surprised by the twist?
I didn't figure out anything. We already know that.
Which I think is surprising because you read the most like.
Yeah, it's because Jill like has her murder board over here, like tracking things.
I was kind of in the middle. I didn't figure it out early, but I figured it out before the end. So, would you answer the ocean's call or absolutely not?
I'd answer it. I'd answer it like Elsa in the middle of the night.
I can hear you.
I feel like if a magical force is pulling you, you have to answer.
I would fight that magical force, man. Someone's trying to take me to the ocean. I do not belong in the ocean.
It was calling them in their sleep. They literally did not have a choice. How many times did she wake up on the edge of the cliff?
That's true. I'd handcuff myself to my bed if I kept waking up on a cliff.
Yeah, Jess did. And
then she locked herself in the room and all kinds of things.
Okay, do you think, this is the last one, do you think the Sirens are girls girl or just terrifying?
I think they're just terrifying.
I want to say girls girl.
I would say girls girl. Like, because Mary went back to save her friends. Like, and they're rescuing these women. Like, no, they're not killing any women. They're rescuing women.
Yeah.
I also thought that they were like, that they were going to bring down the ship. I didn't think like the ship was just happened to break and they got free. I thought they were going to like use their siren powers to like
take it down,
destroy it, control the men, and like I thought it would be a little bit more climactic than just the ship.
Maybe if they had grown up with their mom, they would have been able to do that.
But okay. They didn't. This is about a different book, but I just read a book called the Pirate King, the Daughter of the Pirate King. And I feel like it's the book that you wanted from this book. Cause she's half siren. She's a pirate and she uses her siren skills to control the men around her on this ship that she's captured on.
Okay. So I have to read that book too.
Yeah, it's YA. It's really fast.
What is it?
The Daughter of the Pirate King.
I'm gonna look it up on Amazon.
I think I read it in 3 days.
I was slightly disappointed in this book, mostly because I thought there would be more magic. I thought it'd be more fantasy.
Nope, not that kind of book.
Nope. These are just straight up fish people.
These are just fish people trying to survive as human women. Good luck.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. That's the end of the Sirens. Goodbye.
That's it.
All right, so we need to decide what we're reading next month.
Hold on. I have to get there.
The Daughter of the Pirate King, by the way, is a trilogy.
Yes, I know. I got to read the rest of them.
The Daughter of the Siren Queen.
Yes.
Is she the queen with the Pirate King?
Oh yeah. So it goes like this. It goes, Daughter of a Pirate King, Daughter of a Siren Queen, Vengeance of the Pirate Queen. It like combines them.
Oh. Watch out.
Dun dun dun. Okay, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And
spin it. Did somebody take a picture? Oh.
You're watching? It's spinning. This is where my bad spinning noise comes in the audio.
Who is taking pictures?
Just like
I was screenshotting the book. You don't gotta call it out. Nobody would have heard it.
It's taking the sound. It's making a sound.
I could have edited the sound out.
You're not silently taking pictures.
I could have edited
it. And I can't. Now it's a part of the episode. You're welcome.
Kelly, we're reading Clean Out of Luck.
Clean Out of Luck. Okay, so that's this book right here. Clean Out of Luck by Karina Taylor. It says, wow, these words are very small. I'm old, guys. 6 months to find love. One overprotective menace who's way too handsome for his own good. We have another one of those.
Infuriatingly handsome man.
Yeah. And a building that might have the final say.
A building that has the final say.
Correct.
Yeah. Scarlett. Okay. Her name is Scarlett Fernsby. Holds the world record for the shortest relationships. Is that a thing?
Well, she's got it.
Is that like in the Guinness Book of World Records? Maybe. Mostly thanks to overprotective parents and an interfering brother, every attempt of dating has been a disaster. When her whole family is out of town for 6 glorious months, she knows it's time to find love.
They're out of town for 6 months?
Her whole family just left her.
They just like moved.
Oh, what she didn't count on was Wade Hendricks, her older brother's best friend. He's even worse than her brother. He's soon crashing every date of hers, and Scarlett's beginning to wonder if he's made it his life's mission to annoy her. Wade is a firefighter with a hero complex. She doesn't want to be his pity problem, especially when she's starting to misinterpret those fiery looks of his. Scarlett, because he's a firefighter, get it? Scarlett doesn't know what to do with this newfound attraction to him, and though she'd like to scrub him out of her life, the building she lives in has a very different plan. Wade Hendricks has a problem.
This building is its own character.
Yeah, apparently. His best friend asked him to keep an eye on his little sister, but Wade has trouble keeping his eyes off her. What starts out as a favor for his best friend soon turns into pure torture. Watching Scarlett date other men right in front of him. Wade would love to tell her how he feels, but he knows she doesn't feel the same. Or does she? ? After an especially disastrous date that Wade ruins, and with the help of a very special mop that likes to grant wishes.
Now we got Mickey Mouse in here.
Scarlett tells Wade that he owes her a goodnight kiss. But one kiss isn't enough. Wade wants forever. Now he has to convince Scarlett that just maybe love has been right in front of her all along.
I feel like I'm going to have a lot to say about this.
Wade wants forever, parentheses, threat. That's how that felt.
Have you seen Brainchild? That episode of Brainchild where they're talking about how music affects like the tone of movies, and it's like it has one. They play the same clip, and so the first clip has like this like cheery music, and it's this guy. She's like, "Where have you been?" And he's like, "Oh, I've been looking for you." And then like all these things, and then they switch it to like horror music. Yeah, and he's like, "I've been looking for you." Like, she's like, "I have a secret too." Oh, that's what that made me think of. Okay, good. Well, yes. So, Clean Out of Luck. Whoop, whoop.
In June.
That's what we're reading in June.
So for June, we're gonna do Snack and Chat on June 7th, and we're gonna do it at a different time. We're gonna do it a little bit earlier. So look on Instagram, and we'll tell you that time.
Watch out for that.
Yeah. Do we have any other announcements? Go check out our Etsy.
Or don't until
No, you should go check out our
finish
Etsy.
it. I work on it. I work on it.
Go buy the Bookish t-shirt. That seems to be the thing people like.
Bookish.
But there's other stuff. If you want to support us, I'm going to stop talking now. Okay. That's it. That's the show, folks.
Adios.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and then follow us on whatever social media platform you use the most. The link for next month's book is going to be down in the description below, so grab your copy and then make sure to share all your thoughts with us.